Good morning, Moray V'Rabotai. B'ezrat Hashem Minchad tonight is going to be 6:50. Please be on time. 6:50. It's getting earlier as the weeks continue. The halacha that we want to discuss today is something that might happen in any city, and certainly a city that doesn't have a Eruv. So what happens if the Eruv is down and it's the middle of a Shabbat and a person forgot or didn't realize, and halfway through his walking he realized that he has something in his pocket that is carrying. He's carrying on Shabbat, and there's a place where there's no Eruv or the Eruv is down. Of course, this is one of the reasons why it's important, A, to make sure that you're aware of the status of the Eruv, and second of all, and if you're a place where there is no Eruv, there's actually a din in the Gemara that you're supposed to check your pockets before you leave the house on Friday afternoon. You're supposed to check your pockets to make sure there's nothing in there, because if there's anything in there, it would be, even a tissue, would be called carrying on Shabbat in a place where there's no Eruv, and would be a violation of halacha. Certainly carrying a carriage, carrying tefillin, talit, a siddur, all these things are violations in a place where there's no Eruv. So what does he do if he's already in the middle of the street and he realizes he's carrying something? And either he didn't know the Eruv was down and somebody told him, or that he forgot and now he remembered. What is he supposed to do? So interestingly, the halakha, very interesting halakha, the violation of carrying is when you take something with an akira and a hanacha. It requires two different halachic concepts. The first concept is to uproot it, which means to pick it up. And the second one is to place it. A hanacha means that the item has to rest. So what happens when you're walking in the middle of the street, that is not called the item resting, because since you're going, the item's going with you, it hasn't yet rested. So one of the solutions that could be done is you could place, you're in a Reshut HaRabim, you could place the item on a makom ptur. Makom ptur is any place that is above 3 tfachim from the ground, which is 3 tfachim is approximately 30 inches, about 30, 3 tfachim is 30 centimeters. It's about maybe 15 inches, something like that, in that range. You'll do the math, but it's 30 centimeters, approximately, again, 24, 25. But if you have something that's elevated from the ground and you put something on top of it, and it's not a wide thing, that's called a makom ptur. You're allowed to place it on something like that. So what would be an example? Let's say you have a fire hydrant, or you have those cement pillars next to the fire hydrant. Those are above 3 tfachim. They're not very wide. If you put something on top of that, you carried it in the public domain and you place it on top of that, that is not a violation of carrying on Shabbat. So if a person remembers, what he could do, one of the things he could do is he could place, if it's a small item, on top of a makom ptur, and then it's not viewed as if he's violating, but he has to make sure that he didn't stop. Once he stops walking, that could be called a hanacha. The other solution, if it's something big, is you just don't stop walking. You just continue. As long as you're continuing to walk and you don't stop at any point, you haven't yet violated. And then when you get to a place like a Reshut HaYahid, then you were to stop walking, because you carry from Reshut HaYahid to Reshut HaYahid through a Reshut HaRabim, it's a much lesser violation than if you were to carry otherwise. So that's another solution that a person could do in such a case. So either, number one, to place it on top of a makom ptur, if you're in a Reshut HaRabim, or number two, to continue walking until you get to an enclosed domain, and then you to stop walking. That's already considered a lesser isur. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen ve'amen.